following program is sponsored by Michael W. Smith. The views expressed on the following program are those of the host and not necessarily those of staff, management, or ownership.
Arizona, Phoenix, Brother Mike is back on the radio. Welcome to HardcoreChristianity.com. Hey, welcome to the program today. Today's Bible study, De-Evolution. The first big lie. Hey, will you call somebody and tell them radio program's on? Tell them Brother Mike's ready to go again. I'm always ready to go. I'll make a couple of quick announcements if you'll call them and tell them. I'll give you some time to make that call. This is Brother Mike. I'm a professional counselor, 39 years of it, by the way. I've been in the counseling and psychology field. I've been a Christian counselor since 2005 exclusively. If you go to the website, you'll see that we are located on 15th Avenue, just south of Osborne Road in downtown Phoenix. It's a red brick building. We have 2 live services every week, 7 p.m., preaching, teaching, healing, and deliverance. And both those services are broadcast live on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/houseofhealingaz. If you know somebody that needs to be healed and delivered and they're too afraid to come to the deliverance center or they live out of state, send me an email, mike@hardcorechristianity.com, and I will send you the step-by-step guide to healing and deliverance. Don't forget to catching my programs every month on Omega Man Radio. I'm on there every month, usually the 3rd week of the month. Don't forget to hit the PayPal button. Thank you for sending in all your donations in the past. May God bless you for that. We thank you for it. All the money that comes in goes into the ministry 100%. I do not take a salary for the ministry, neither does my wife. I've been in the ministry now since 2005 and have never taken a penny in salary. I donate it all back to the ministry because if I don't sacrifice, how can I expect somebody else to sacrifice if I don't do it? Remember, we've expanded our children's deliverance services. Preteens can get delivered from demons now. Check it out on the website. Don't forget about Sister Karen. She's on the homepage of the website. Please send her your house that you need to sell. She'll be happy to list them for you. In particular, if you are a born-again Christian, that would be wonderful. And thank you for all the referrals you've given her in the past. De-evolution. Let's talk for a second. Evolution is a gasping fraud. It is not real. It is not true. It is a total scientific lie. Because we bought evolution decades ago, we are now buying more science lies. COVID, quarantines, vaccines, masks. We're buying lies now, and we're being obedient, and we're obeying. Why? Because we're used to buying nationwide lies. The big one was the original, evolution. You came from an ape. Your grandparents were apes. They used to pick their bottom and eat their poop, swinging from trees, babbling like psychos. Your great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandparents were apes. It is the dumbest thing anybody ever heard. Well, a new survey came out called The Public Acceptance of Evolution in the United States, 1985 to 2020. The University of Michigan did the survey. And what they found was that our society has been more oriented toward people getting a bachelor's degree. And they've been exposed to college-level science courses. And because of declining religious fundamentalism and the rising level of civic scientific literature, people are now drifting toward evolution as a real science. Before 1985, about, less than 50% of people, around 40%, did not believed in evolution. 60% or thereabouts, approximately, of people saw through evolution as being absolutely ridiculous. Of course it's ridiculous. Now, according to this recent survey, 54% of evangelicals, if you can believe that, 54% of evangelicals in the United States believe evolution is science. I don't know if you heard what I said. I think you did hear what I said. 54% of American adults agreed with this statement. Quote, human beings as we know them today developed from earlier species of animals, unquote. That was one of the questions in the survey. You believe that? That's how sick this thing has gotten. And because we believe things that are obviously false and fake, we now receive masks and vaccines and Dr. Fauci and the media screaming out science about the COVID-19 virus. That's where we're at right now. If you were to step back for a second and take an honest look, the Bible clearly says, under no uncertain terms, that God created human beings. Genesis chapter 1, Genesis chapter 2. The word for create is bara. Bara means that God brought something into existence that did not exist before. In the beginning, God created bara, the heavens and the earth. That means he brought things into existence that did not exist before. God created it. That's the Hebrew word, creation. If you look at evolution, it's clearly and obviously fake. It's clearly and obviously fake. Evolutionists teach that birds never had wings before. They evolved. They first started out with two stubby little arms, and then those two stubby little arms grew hands, which allowed them to get off the ground and climb trees and so on. And then the whole concept of it is hard to believe. The arms then turned into wings. And that developed a new species, and that species was able to fly. Can you imagine believing something like that? Evolution is a lie based on the second law of thermodynamics, which says that organization cannot flow from chaos. Complex live organisms cannot be rearranged themselves into an organism of a higher form as claimed by evolutionists. This is scientifically backwards. It's the second law of thermodynamics. It has never been proven wrong. There is not one incident of it being proven wrong. It is an absolute scientific fact. Evolution has no proof. It's an empty theory. It's a lie. Okay? The second law of thermodynamics says specifically complex live organisms cannot rearrange themselves into an organism of higher form. Period. It can't happen. Number 3, there's no scientific evidence that a species can change the number of its chromosomes within its DNA. The chromosome count, based on solid science, with each species is fixed. There's a reason that a male from one species can't mate with a female of another species. They can't reproduce. Man could never have evolved from monkeys. Each species, scientifically, they know this for a fact, is locked into its chromosome count, and they cannot change it. You cannot change it. That's why the Bible says that the animals reproduced after their kind. because they're not able to reproduce after another kind. A goat is not able to give birth to a monkey. It can't happen. The chromosomes in the DNA are fixed. If, for example, through a birth defect, an animal developed an extra chromosome or lost a chromosome or something like that, they are not able to reproduce. They are deformed. And the biggest lie of evolution is the origin or the creation of matter. They have no capacity to explain where the universe came from. Because they know for a scientific fact, you cannot get something out of nothing. You cannot get something out of nothing. It's unbelievable. The Big Bang Theory is a big farce. Why? Because there has to be something there to bang. You got to have something there to bang. You can't bang nothing. They have no idea where the universe came from. They don't understand how it happened. So they just simply ignore it, assuming that fools like us will simply buy it. Mars is a perfect illustration that evolution is a bold-faced lie. Mars is perfect and should have life everywhere. In 2004, rovers started roaming around on the surface of Mars. The Spirit and the Opportunity. That's what's the name of the rovers. They found out that on Mars, however many millions of years ago, Mars used to have lots of water. There was water all over Mars. There are dry riverbeds everywhere. They've documented it. Mars also has an environment that would be able to support some form of life. Guess what? In millions of years, life has never sparked on Mars. There's no life on Mars. It's totally barren. Because evolution does not work. It is a lie, and it has led to all the lies we're facing right now, and it will lead that way right into the tribulation. The rapture and the tribulation are only a few years away now. This thing's almost over, and the pathway to the tribulation in the church and out of the church will be a road filled with lies. Everybody is going to lie, and everybody's going to believe the lies. The Antichrist will rise to power based on lies, and here in America, it started with evolution.
The views expressed on this program are those of the host and not necessarily those of staff, management, or ownership. This program was sponsored by Michael W. Smith.